board, and Katie's one of my favorites to work with. She's so present, and she's just so there. Half the time it's like, oh, when her eyes start twitching, and she's like a little teary-eyed, and I'm like, oh, just present, this is hard. And then Stephen is so much fun because Nissa and Stephen and Oliver, this person, they just butt heads all the time, so it's really kind of fun to kind of come at Stephen really smart and just comes back at me, and it's just fun because then just battle of wills.
We have a lot of good stuff coming up. There's an interesting mutual respect in your marriage between our heritage, which is, we explore that. I enjoy it.
And then the same thing with Barrowman. I think there's this, it's bizarre, our relationship, the respect we get, the animosity between us, and I think the two of us just love playing it with each other.
It's a forced respect. Yeah. That makes sense. We have to respect each other like we really don't want to. There's a line that I say to Nissa coming up, and it's, I can't say it, it's a spoiler, but it's like, I'm only saying this because I have to say it. It's because he's there. And I'm like, and that's what I love the dynamic with. Katie and I don't get to do a lot of this. Laurel, I know, doesn't really like me. I think she understands me more, but with Stephen, the thing I love about Oliver is I've always said this, that Malcolm for Oliver has a soft spot, and he tries not to let it show, which is always when they come to him for help, he will always help them. But it's a difficult situation because he does deep down like him.
Very handsome, not especially white.
Yeah. I love that you guys know it. And it was scripted. It wasn't made up, it was scripted.
And my reaction was half Oliver and half it was 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah, funny, now they won't.
First of all, thank you so much for everything you do for your fans and just for giving characters to life for everyone who comes out. My question for Stephen. When you were, I know you take notes on the script that you get at the beginning. Did you have any specific notes for episode 408 with the withholding your son's ability? And how do you think that put a damper on the proposal?
That scene went through a variety of different iterations. The first iteration being very different. The first iteration was kind of I want to call it like a flippant lie. That was the original script. And my argument was actually, I wanted to make an argument for omission. Like basically evading the question as opposed to lying, which is still technically lying, evading. And we met somewhere in the middle, and it was important to the writers that I tell a lie, because it obviously is going to play, it's obviously going to play down the road in some way, shape, or form. You don't have a moment like that, and then not touch back on it in the series. So that was a tough one. Because Oliver has gone through a lot this year, and I thought that was an unfortunate by him. But it happens. You're welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Great. Good.
So I was wondering, how did you guys prepare for your role once you know it was physically, mentally, knowledge-wise?
I didn't read or watch flashbacks because my character doesn't know what happens to Oliver on the island. Once Laurel turned into Black Canary and was training, the thing that was great about it is she, was going through training. I personally was going through training, so as I saw her get better, I actually really would like to think I was getting better. So yes, through fighting and physically, obviously there was transformation. And for like emotional scenes and stuff like that, I tried season 2 especially, it was obviously my character went through, had to pick off bottom, and I tried to stay in it as much as possible. And luckily, Paul Blackburn most of my emotional scenes were with him, and he is somebody, like Stephen said, who stays in her we all know Stephen's gun show that's going on. Has anybody seen Katie's? Has anybody seen photographs where she's like lifting and stuff? She just got ripped this season. It's kind of amazing. It inspires me to go back to the gym.
When I got the part, it was actually really nice. I got the part in the beginning of February, and I had like a 6-week window to just do nothing but focus on getting into all of the clean shape. And that was cool. I got to learn those new things. I'd never done hardcore before. I'd never fired a bow and arrow before. So when it came to the background of the character, again, I've always said that I just put my hands in, I just put myself in David Letter's hands, who directed our pilot, who's the most prolific pilot director in the history of television, period. And just trusted that he was going to craft something that would hopefully go on for 80+ episodes. Thank you.
I was sitting in the kitchen in Palm Springs, got a phone call from my agent manager, said there's some people they want to talk to you about the role on this new show coming up. They were fans of Dr. Torchwood and Superman. And the first words out of their mouth to me on the phone were, "We don't think you'll accept this, but blah blah blah." I'm like, don't put words in my mouth. Tell me about it. They said, look at this teaser we have. This was in the summer before the show aired. They already started filming. I think it was like June or July. And they said, would you let me play Malcolm Merlin? And after their talk to me, it was the same feeling I got when they offered me Captain Jack Harkness. I knew that they were passionate about it. I knew that they wanted to create this whole new role. And as an actor, I'm like, dudes, I want to be part of it. And that was the beginning of it. Not much is written about Malcolm Merlin. There's very little in his backstory, so it wasn't hard to jump in. But if you're interested, my sister and I have just written, and we've started with DC Comics. We've written Merlin, the story. It happens between season 3 and season 4, and the flashbacks to how he began with the League and all things like that. It's available digitally, really good price, 99 cents a chapter. And then in 24 weeks, it comes out in hard copy. So this show has led me in other directions, and I'm proud that I can say, this is like a little boy thrill in me, I am a DC comic book writer.
Listen, they have their moments. Where are you from, by the way? From Birmingham. Yeah, you're from Birmingham. John's the biggest clown. I'm the worst at laughing. I'm the worst. By far the worst. I crack all the time. and by the way, not on my coverage, I'll crack when other people are having a really focus. I'm just like, my head's down and my shoulders are shaking. I'm just happy that after 3+ seasons, Paul Blackmore finally cracked. On the first day back from our Christmas break, there was a scene in 414 where the camera has to go right into my face, and I'm looking at him, and every time the camera got super close and he couldn't see me anymore, he would go. And it made me so happy, because he gets so serious all the time, and I laugh right in his face. And I feel bad. Not that bad, but I feel a little bad. I'm just glad that we finally came back.
It's important to have fun when you work. You get the work, that's my motto in life. Have fun, but get the work done. And we all do that. We hit the marks, we say our lines, we really commit to it, and then when we have a moment, we have a little fun.
And that's the important thing about the show, too. The show is a relentless march. And the show is 23 episodes a year. We are literally producing the maximum amount of television on a yearly basis that is capable, that is feasible, in 8 to 8 episodes. It's technically 8, mostly 9. We just know that there's no space in our schedule, and that every single day we just have to keep going. So there is a very matter-of-fact work ethic on set, I think we do have fun. We do.
And this man works the hardest. He's there all the time, every day practically, most of the scenes, and never a complaint comes out of his mouth that I've heard.
We haven't had an insurance day, we haven't missed a day in 3+ years.
Touch wood.
And this is really cool to hear this, because I think we have tendency to look up to you guys and go, oh, you know, actors, that must be a cushy job. Of course it's not.
No, it is. No, it is. Don't pretend for a living. No, it's a cushy job.
That's what I was wondering, like, what is it like from your perspective?
Oh, it's hard work, man. It's really hard. So it's long hours. I happen to think that we have the very best, most capable, hardest working crew in the business, period, ever, period. These guys, they're there 2 hours before we're there, they're 2 hours after we leave. The sets that we build, the locations that we go to, the weather that we have to deal with in Vancouver, the fluctuating climate and sun. Right now the sun sets at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When we start shooting in the summer, the sun sets at like 11 o'clock at night. So we're constantly dealing with things, and the crew is just, they are spectacular. They really are.
I was going to say, like, as far as that, like, yes, it definitely is hard and definitely not what you would probably think for. But, you know, when you go every day and you see the crew who they're just there, happy to be there, and really hard workers, and it's because of them that we, you know, are able to make it to the hopefully, however, you know, just kind of shows basically.
And one of the cool things that has happened over the course of 3 seasons is we definitely have a contingent of crew that have been with us since the beginning, but none of them are doing the job that they started doing. They're all working up the ladder. We have fight choreographers that are now directed. We've had DPs that are now directed. We've had heads of lighting that have now become DPs. We've had dollar grips that have become camera operators. It's really cool to see. And I think we might have talked about this last night in between songs. We've also, because Arrow has helped spawn both Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, we've had crew members leave us to go to those shows for new, exciting, and better opportunities. So that's super rewarding that we're helping foster that.
All right, next question. All right, Dan from Lincoln, this is my daughter, Leo. My question is for Stephen, when you're on the air as a leader in the TV force, you're kind of being rough and serious, but it seems like when you're on the Flash, you're kind of a little bit more of like a kind of jerky sometimes.
Okay. Layla, do you agree? It's amazing how theoretically the Flash is very similar. We shoot in Vancouver, both DC shows, we have a lot of the same crew. Their shows totally different. Like everything about it feels different when you're there. And that really comes from the type of tone that Grant sets. Grant and I are doing the same thing, but we're very, very different people. A little older than he is, he's a little bit more like happy-go-lucky. It's a happy-go-lucky show, not us. Damn it, here we go, we're doing it, we're not stopping. So when I go over there, all the queen in that setting of the Flash, maybe a jerk.
First thing you touch on the tone, because I got told this for so long, I did my episode of Flash last year, and after I did the episode, they, you know, Mark kept saying to me, we want the world to be more like oil on Flash. And I was like, but you do realize that that's a different show.
And I was like, I watched the show, I was on it, I knew it was a light tone, and I knew dark world would not work on Flash.
You did Legends, and Legends is totally different as well.
Yeah, totally different. So,
Oh, I've got some stuff coming up from Legends. I've seen it. It's awesome. It's pretty cool. Really awesome.
Thank you. Here's time for 10 questions.
My name is Seth, and I'm staying in New York. We have
let us know. We're like you guys.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. You're a lie.
Yes, I get it.
Next question. He's away.
Star Wars is casting with the great, right?
Yes, it's Stardust in the river.
Good.
We can take one more question. One more question. Come in.
My question is for Stephen. Someone that someone started and it also dropped. So my question is, I know you trained at the PC to kind of warm up there and try to get used to the ring. So how was your experience there? And also, if you're going to like Stardust or Serena,
I really hope I haven't had my last match. I hope my first match is not my last match. I want to do a singles match. I want to do many more things that make Greg Valenti and my manager and my wife and the entire cast super nervous.
When you do it, let me know because I love it because I sit and eat Velveeta cheese and chili and chips and I cheer him on. That's my normal.
I had an amazing experience with WWE. The people that I worked with, and I'd like to keep the people that I work with a little bit close to the rest because I have a lot of respect for the business and I think the mystery around it is important. But yeah, I hope I get to do something again. And I will say, we're done with questions. I will say, guys, we really honestly we try
Take a picture with your phone so we can tweet it out.
For me and Katie,
Take a picture with your phone.
and everyone that is here, we really want to thank you guys for breaking the elements, for being patient. I will recognize that this has been fantastic. So give yourself an